friends, welcome back to Nessa's Nuggets. So today's dinner is everything is being blamed on Robert. You know who you are. He sent me this recipe a while back, and I forgot to buy the peppers, and I kept forgetting to buy this spinach. So I'm like, okay, now is the time. So why I blame this on Robert? Okay, this is his recipe. He's the one who told me about the Instapot Rio, and he's the one that told me about the lid. So this is clearly on you, Robert, which is fine. And we play back and forth all the time, so he's not going to mind taking the blame for this. So what I did is, normally most people would, fry this up in the fry pan, then put it in their crock pot. But because the Instapot Rio actually has the saute on it, I'm not going to waste another dirty pan, and this will be like a one-pot dinner other than the rice. So that's what my plan is. I'll bring it down here, show you what my plans are. Now I did have to thaw out the chicken a little bit in the microwave, which I really hate doing. This pan is started, so you need to brown the chicken on each side, it said. And what this also is saying is to poke little fork holes so that the spices from the liquid, let me bring it up a little bit so you can actually physically see in there. That might help. So I'm going to go ahead and poke a few fork holes in this. And I had some olive oil on here. And everything wants to stick to my fork. Okay, so what you just need to do, it does call for Italian seasoning, but Italian seasoning really upsets my stomach, so I don't eat it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some pepper on here and some salt. And then I'll use the oregano and the parsley in place of the oregano, or instead of the Italian seasoning. Because like I said, I don't want to have this meal upset my stomach at all. So this way it'll be easier. And plus these two items are found in the Italian seasoning. Now everybody knows I make up my own garlic onion mixture. So I'm going to just go ahead and put some of this on here. And this calls for the smoked paprika. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to leave all those lids open because you're just going to cook this on here for a couple minutes, and then you're going to go ahead and flip it, and I'll be right over, right back. Alright, that's cooked for a few minutes on that side, and I'll go ahead and flip it over. I may, before I put the juice part in here, I may flip that back over and get that a little bit more cooked because it's not as brown as maybe what it should be. So go ahead and add the spices back to this. And you do actually add some of these spices back to the liquid part of this too. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave these right open because all this is going to come together about the same. So it should all nice and work. I mean, so far this already smells really, really good. Alright. Salt. And the pepper. Let that cook for a few. Be right back. Alright, so I'm going to be getting the sauce around here. Now I don't have any heavy whipping cream, and I don't use it really enough to justify buying it. So what you could do is just take your milk and add butter back to it, and then that becomes the heavy whipping cream. I'm just a firm believer on use what you have. Obviously this butter will melt as it's cooking. So what they said to do is to do like a couple tablespoons of garlic. I think that's going to be on your own personal liking personally. And then it's going to ask for like a tablespoon of cornstarch, all right? And then it asks for a quarter cup of, a quarter cup of shredded Parmesan, which I don't have the shredded, I just have this. So I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball that and put that in maybe a little bit more than what it asked for. Now I did get this all the way browned on both sides, so that should be fine. And I am using the 4-cup measure. Go ahead and throw my spices back in here. Is what we're just going to be doing, is pouring this on here. And then going ahead, I'm going to be placing this on high because it's later in the afternoon and it needs to be done for dinner. And garlic. Salt and pepper. Now obviously this is something just like the rest of the stuff. You know, if you like more stuff, you like less stuff. If you don't like stuff, like I said, I don't care for the Italian seasoning, so you kind of like change things around. Now, what I did buy was the sliced of these jarred peppers. This was about $3 for that jar, and it says to go ahead and add that in. I'm going to go ahead and add in the whole thing because, for one thing, I love red peppers, and I think it's going to help make this meal taste really, really good. So, like I said, I'm going to stir this up a little bit because obviously the butter has not melted. And I'll just go ahead and pour this in. And I will come out here every so often and kind of like stir this up some. And then as it gets closer, then you go ahead and put in your spinach. Now, what I mean by Robert got me in trouble. So this is the lid he suggested for me to buy. It looks really, really good with the Rio. So what I'm going to do is put this actually on slow cook, and this is on high. I'm going to put this on for 4 hours. I don't think it's going to take that long. Go ahead and hit start. I'll clean up my mess, and then I'll, come back and stir this up every so often, and I'll show you what that's looking like. Alright, I almost forgot about the spinach, but as you can see, this is looking really good. The chicken is done. So I'm going to go ahead, and you're supposed to put in some spinach and wait about 5 minutes. The rice is done, so I don't have to worry about having to wait for that. I'm not going to put a super amount of spinach in here, but just enough, because that's going to shrink up to nothingness. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this in, wait about another 5 minutes, and we will get dinner served. Alright, so as you can see, the spinach pretty much melted down. So I'm going to go ahead and take out one of the breasts. Just kind of like throw that off to the side. And then I am going to go ahead and put some of that creamy sauce, which now, of course, that did melt. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to let that cool down for a second, lower the camera, and I'll have me give you a taste here. Alright, so here it goes. Wow. You were right, Robert. So this is very good. I mean, very, 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 very yummy. I'll see what the boys think of it, but I like it. I can see myself having that often. So thank you again, Robert, for the suggestions of this meal, the suggestions of the Instapot Rio, the suggestions of the lid. And anybody who ever has any suggestions of any meals, you can email them to me at nessasnook0713@gmail.com. I'll try to get out as much as I can. I know I've not been making as many videos as I normally have been, but it's just I've been really busy. It is harvest season. I've got so many tomatoes over here to do over this weekend. It's kind of silly. So hopefully if you want to see something, let me know. Comment down below. You're always welcome to send other channels things of how they make it if you want to see how I would make it. And thank you very, very much for stopping by. I hope you have a very blessed and wonderful day.